Hello, I'm back and I'm reading again from my book, Waiting for the Morning, A Mother and Daughter's Journey Through Alzheimer's Disease. I'm reading from, and I always forget my reading glasses. And here we go. From Tuesday, November 22nd, 1994. I think that we had passed the bad time for this month without any really big problems except around the 6th. And those weren't really so bad, although they might have been if I hadn't backed off and left her alone for a while. Sometimes it seems it's the only thing that will work. This month there have been very few times when my mother had no appetite. She's been she's had very little incontinence and only a few nights of being up all night with no really bad catastrophic reactions. However, the indigestion, or what appears to be indigestion, has been getting worse, and if we don't catch it early enough each time, it gets so bad that she thinks she's dying. We had some good times out walking when the weather was nice. We've had some unusually warm and sunny days, and that has helped. But in the next few days, winter will be beginning, and I dread all the days when she will have to stay in the house and can't get out. We went through some of that a few weeks ago when it was raining a lot, and she was really depressed during that time. We never sleep till daylight. I can expect her to get up between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. each morning, if not sooner. But we go to bed early each night. I usually do almost as early as she does, so it doesn't bother me so much. I look forward to having the holidays give her something different and more exciting, but I also dread the way thinking of such things sometimes depresses her. She talks a lot about her parents, and I know the holidays may make her miss him and my dad when she remembers him even more. Friday, November 25th, 1994. We had a problem yesterday morning at a time of the month when I didn't expect one, but I guess I should. It could be all the excitement of Thanksgiving that did it. My mother thought she was dying, and I insisted she take something for indigestion. She refused, and I still insisted because I wanted her to feel well enough to enjoy Thanksgiving. She hit me then, and I gave up. The hitting doesn't bother me so far. It doesn't hurt at all. She didn't do it hard, and I think she just wants she. I don't think she wants to hurt anyone. Anyway, she just wants to be left alone. I did that, go into another room with a book to read. In a few minutes, she came looking for me, crying and apologizing, saying she was afraid I left. She knew then that she would. I knew then that she would cooperate with taking a shower and getting dressed to go to Thanksgiving dinner at my sister's. All went well there. Mama had her kids around her, even though she probably didn't know any of us, and she seemed content. It's 2 a.m. now. Mama just got up and headed for a chair with no explanations given. I was able to get a robe on her and her throw over her legs. Luckily, I put a nice new warm gown on her at bedtime. She does seem to pick some of the coldest nights to get up. I think it's about 20 degrees tonight. I left the heater on in the living room and began turning the others on around midnight. So it's warm enough now, but not as warm as it would be in bed. It's 5 a.m. now, and my mother and I have been talking since about 3 a.m. when she woke up in her chair. She had 100 questions, and I think she repeated each about 20 times. It was like she couldn't understand the thing I said, or that she forgot it as soon as I said it. She had a dream. She had a dream, I think, at 3 a.m. She asked, "When did your daddy die, and who was your daddy?" It was like it didn't sink in, no matter how many times I told her that he had died 9 years ago, that he was her husband, that she was my mother. Finally, I think I got her to understand that it was a long time ago, but she was still convinced that someone had just died. she started talking about that other girl that died, and I think she was meaning me because sometimes she seems to think there's two of us. She's always asking what happened to that other girl that came with you. I think she thought one of the girls left yesterday when left her alone and went to another room to read. After me answering her about 20 times, telling her no, no one had died, no one had left, it was just a dream, I finally got her to understand, or perhaps by then she'd forgotten what she'd been asking. Saturday, November 6th, 1994. And excuse me, I just turned over my little space heater down here. I turned it over. Just kicked it over. Okay, here we go. Where was I? I guess it was that one. Right there. Okay. Saturday, November 26th, 1994. We are up about 30 minutes later than yesterday morning. It's 2:30 a.m. We were up the rest of the night yesterday. I'm so tired. I shouldn't be because we've been in bed 8 hours, but it seems like we were up every 30 minutes for my mother to go to the bathroom. The last time we got up, she asked, "Can I live in that chair in there?" We had a good day yesterday. I read to her, and she even recognized a few words herself and could read them like the and a in the titles of the stories, a large print guidepost my sister had subscribed to for her. The rest of the day, we watched Christmas movies in between naps. I had to have a couple naps too. 8 hours of sleep or not, getting up around 2 a.m. makes me tired the next day. I'm wondering if I'll be able to do it this time, even with a 2-liter Diet Coke with caffeine at my side. I'm afraid to fall asleep. But I just can't keep my eyes open much longer. It's 7:45 a.m. now. I managed to stay awake until 4:30 this morning. Then I just couldn't stay awake any longer, so I fell asleep on the couch. And sure enough, my mother was up within 10 minutes, asking me what I was doing lying down there. So I went to fix breakfast. I had got dressed an hour earlier when she was awake and said she was hungry, but I didn't fix breakfast because she fell asleep in her chair again. When I got breakfast at 6 a.m., she said she wasn't hungry and she ate only a couple bites. Funny thing happened when she was up and out of her chair a little around 5 a.m. She was laughing and said I had the same disease and was worse off than her because I was talking about chickens when we didn't have anything. It seemed everything I was saying about fixing breakfast and her eating, she thought I was talking about chickens. In fact, she had been talking about them herself at 3:30. She and my dad had raised chickens on the farm for about 30 years. And I tried to explain to her that there were no chickens raised here anymore. When I told her that again, when she brought up chickens, that the old chicken houses were far too bad shaped to be used, her laughter seemed to turn to fear and then confusion and the lack of trust for me in this later no eating breakfast. When will I ever learn to quit trying to explain things to her? It's now 3 a.m., and this is the third night in a row that we've been up. That my mother did stay in bed until 2:30 a.m. She almost had a catastrophic reaction when I tried to help her put on her robe. I just, I just let her walk away, and then she saw that she did need it, and she let me help her. Now at 3:45, I sit watching her, observing. She's been sitting in her chair for the past hour, hardly opened her eyes at all since she's been there, though she's moving around, sometimes rocking, shuffling her feet, propping her head on her hands. The nights of being up are increasing each month. She hasn't been incontinent so much, and the catastrophic reaction haven't seemed so bad. Lately, when she gets up, she just sits in her chair, sleeping off and on when no one were wondering, searching for the baby, or wanting to go home. I'm writing again at 8:30 a.m. At about 4 a.m., my mother started asking me questions. She seemed to have dreamed that my brother Bob was coming to get her to take her home with him, and that was why she was sitting up waiting. She said he sent her a message. I had the hardest time getting her to understand it was just a dream. Then she started talking about wanting to go home. Finally, I realized what she was saying was that she wanted to go back to bed. She didn't know how to get there, and she wanted to go back where she belonged. Last night wasn't bad. My mother didn't get up until, this is Monday, November 28th, 1994. And excuse me again, it's getting warmed up in here now. Okay, okay. Last night wasn't bad. My mother didn't get up until 4 a.m. And then as soon as she got up, to her chair, she wanted to go back to bed, saying that no one was up. It's a rainy day, and days like this seem to make things worse. My mother had no appetite today. She didn't eat much breakfast, and she ate even less at lunch. My mother was teasing me this morning about messing up her house with the plants I'm growing. Soon the teasing changed into walking through the house and saying everything was a mess. So I began frantically cleaning house, even though I do try to keep it pretty clean. She woke, she went to sleep and then woke up, not speaking to me or eating. The bath lady, a home health nurse aide, came then, and she left my mother with. And after she left, my mother was so mad at her. She said she cut her ear with a comb when she was combing her hair. I think it upset her that the aide was talking to me too. She doesn't look like it when the aides and I carry on a conversation. I can see it by the way she looks, and how that looks grows the longer we talk. Tuesday, November 29th, 1994. It is 7:45 a.m. and all is well. My mother slept all night, ate her breakfast, and let me help her take a bath because one of my sister-in-laws was coming. My mother got her first Christmas present of the year during that visit, a good, warm, quilted fleece top, pants and top outfit. She appreciated the gift, and afterwards she kept saying she had to get her something, even though she didn't know who she was. She said that once that she was a lady who used to stay with her. Wednesday, November 30th, 1994. I was trying to help my mother get her pants on this morning, and she got mad at me and said she was tired of me telling her what to do. I told her I was just trying to take care of her, and she said no, that I was a boss in everything she did. So I left her in the bathroom to get dressed herself. She came out after somehow managing to get her pants on herself this time. She went to the front porch, letting in a blast of cold air in the door. She turned back and saw me and started telling me proudly how she had just told the other girl off. I told her unwisely. I told her it was me unwisely. She asked what I got mad at her about and why couldn't I just get along with her. She said I better just leave and find some other place to live, that she could find a little place to live and take care of herself. It's so strange what losing one's memory does to the person. She was the one who was angry, and yet she thought it was me. If it were like this all the time, I don't know how I could do this much longer. But there are the other times, the good times. Okay, and at this point is where I started right before Christmas with the chapter 3 Home for Christmas. So next Friday we will skip over to where I left off, which would be chapter 5 Long Winter Nights, which would start with February. Uh, okay. And then again, this is Waiting for the Morning, mother and daughter's journey through Alzheimer's disease, which I badly, badly need to do a second edition of for several reasons. I need to change the forward. There's some resources in the back that really need to be changed because websites are good. I need to add other books in the back, and there, I guess, tell a little bit of the story of. I said forward, but introduction is the whatever it is at the beginning, the acknowledgement that because a lot of things have changed in 22 years since I published this. And one of them is I need to change the name right there because I was married to my second husband who I was with for 8 years. And anyway, seems like there was something else I was going to say today. I don't know what it was now. I can't remember. Uh-oh, bad sign, huh? Anyway, just want to show you my shirt. It is my Robert Frost shirt from my favorite poem by Robert Frost, Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening, which is, I guess, it could be my favorite poem of all time. Anyway, by poet. And we didn't get our snow. We just got a few flurries. We're supposed to get a few flurries again today, starting about 3 o'clock, and it is it 3 minutes away? 3 o'clock till midnight tonight. They're saying we might get some flurries. We might have a better chance. We might wake up with a dusting of the ground tomorrow. I still would like one good snow, but it's like if we get one good snow, then the whole world the rest of the U.S. is north of us and south of us. I don't know, well, sometimes south of us, west of us, and east of us. Everything else is frozen and having real struggles. This time it really hit Nashville bad. Anyway, so I don't know if I want to, at this point, wish for that one good snow, but I wouldn't mind seeing a little dusting on the ground in the morning or a few flakes today. Anyway, wherever you are, stay warm, be careful, and take care, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye.